Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we would like to give our usual shout out to our patrons. We appreciate all the tips and support. Only going to go towards making the channel better and adding more games over time. If you're curious about it, just go ahead and check the description of the video down below. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, today, the first video I want to do for today, I'm going to go over something that was brought up by one of our viewers. Just a little review of another method of pressing or playing. So for this one, you once there's a point, doesn't really matter what the point may be, you set your place bets up. Now, as you guys all know, I'm a fan of just going across and include the point instead of doing a pass line bet, although you could also certainly have a pass line bet. Now, I'm going to do this as if it were a $10 table, as it's very difficult to find $5 tables at the moment, and could be difficult for quite some time. As long as Vegas remains as busy as it is, I don't see the return of the $5 tables in most of the places anytime soon. Even $10 is difficult to find, almost impossible to find on the strip. But off strip, you can still find $10 tables. So what this method is it's a lot of different names for it, but some people will call it sister numbers, and that's a great way of putting it. Now, there's a couple different ways to do it. So I'm going to set up a second 64 across. A couple different ways to do this. And what it is doing is it's just putting the numbers into pairs, right? 6 and 8, as they say, 6 and 8 running mates. There's all these little phrases for it, but 6 and 8, the 5 and 9, and the 4 and 10. And they're called sister numbers because they kind of link together. Whatever the dice may be showing, for instance, if the dice are showing a 9, right? The dice is showing a 9. Well, guess what's on the bottom of the dice? 5. So these are just opposite sides of the dice, is all these are. So they're called sister numbers. Some people just look at them as pairs. It's kind of like, when a 6 rolls, people bet the hard 8 because it's the quote-unquote sister number. So with the sister numbers idea, you are pressing the other number. You're pressing the sister number. However, you could also dual press. It's certainly nothing wrong with that. So a couple different ways you can do it. So let's say, for instance, that the 5 rolls. Well, what does it pay? Well, the 5 pays 14. 10 pays 14. I'm sorry. 10 pays 14 on the 5. So 10 pays 14. So we'll say this person is going to dual press. So they're going to press the 5 and the 9. They're going to press their 5 and they're going to press the sister number, which means that they're going to receive $4 and change, and we're going to press them to $15 a piece on the 5 and 9. Now, this other player, they also get paid $14, but they instead decide to press the sister number only. So they will say press the 9. Okay, you're also going to get 4 change, and we're going to press the 9. Now, if the 5 were to roll again, what are they likely to do? Well, the first player, the one that is dual pressing both the main number rolled and the sister number, is again going to press them both. A couple different ways they can do it. Now, 15 pays 21. So they could press them 1 unit each. They could go up to $20 a piece and collect $8, or they can collect $1 and they can bring both of their numbers up to a quarter. With the other player, they would again collect $14. Now, they have a choice here. They press their sister number. They can either go up to 20 or 25, or they can go all the way up to 30, up to them. Or they could throw in $1 and go even higher, 35. If it were me, I'd probably throw in $2 and go to 36, but that's just me. So we'll just say they press it 1 unit. So now they go to a green, and they collect the rest. Same thing with the 6 and 8. 6 and 8 rolls. Well, the first player is going to dual press. So they're going to say press my 6 and my 8. So we're going to give them their 2 change, and then we're going to press their numbers for them. Now, both of them go from 12 to 18 apiece. The other player will receive their $14, and they will just say press the 8. And they will go on the 8 from 12 to 24. It does leave the 6 still at 12. But they're thinking, their thought process is the sister number. The sister number will roll next, or will be the next one of the pair to roll. So we're going to go ahead and press that sister number up. If the 6 rolls again, well, this player is going to win less than this player because they didn't press that 6. But still, they're still doing some presses. And the thing about pressing like this is that you are still collecting some money. With both of these, you're still collecting some money. It's not like a power press method where you're constantly throwing in money and you're not collecting anything until you hit table max. This one, you are still collecting a little bit. You're still collecting a little bit while raising your bets up. If this were to roll again, and this player that does the dual presses, well, they're going to say, go ahead and press my 6 and 8 again. Well, they get paid $21. So they will throw in, or they won't throw in anything. They're just going to collect their $9, and we're going to press them up to 24 apiece. Now, there is a very common press move done out of this by players that does require throwing some money in. Some players, when they're at 18 apiece on these, if either one rolls, they're going to throw in $3. By throwing in $3, they're going to take both of these bets up from 18 apiece all the way up to $30 each. It's a very common press. It's actually gaining a lot of popularity right now too. We see this a lot more every single day. They're going to take both of these bets up to $30 a piece. A lot of players lately are trying to get to this green point as fast as possible. The plus to the green is that you never collect any white. Every single time you're getting paid, you're collecting a green. There are some players now that will press up to the green point, and then they will stop pressing and just same bet, just collect, because they're collecting $35 to $50 depending on what hits every single time. So that's a plus. To them, they're perfectly happy just collecting up their green every single time. Other players, they'll continue to do partial presses. We've gone over these before, from 30 to 42, 42 to 60 or 90, 60 to 90, 90 to either 120 or 150, so on and so forth. Just like with the 5 and 9, 10 to 15, 15 to 36, 36 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 100, 100 to 150. So a couple different ways you can do these. You can press the sister number by completely pressing just the sister number, or you can dual press both of them. With the 4 and 10, it's even easier because you have, or not easier, it's the same thing really, but you have a lot more money to work with. If you press both of them, you're going to collect $8. This player, if they decide to press just the sister number, they're more likely going to collect $3. They can either press or they can press all the way. If they press, they go to 20 and they collect $8. If they go all the way, they go straight to a green. They're still collecting. It's only $3, but they're going all the way to a green. That's a little bit more common right now because, again, people are trying to shoot to this green point as quickly as possible. So the very next time this rolls, this player is going to collect 27, and if they're going to dual press, they're probably going to dual press 2 greens. They could just go up to $20 a piece and they could collect $17, but more likely they're going to collect $7 and they're going to take them both up to a green. So we had a player ask about this, or a fan ask about this, about the pressing of the sister numbers, and this is how it would work. You have your choice of which way you want to go with these. You can dual press them, or you can just press just the sister number. It's really entirely up to you. Now, what I would recommend is make sure you keep your bets at somewhat easy points or somewhat common points, especially if you get up too high. And same thing with the presses. If the 6 rolls again, and the player says, "Oh, I want to go ahead and press my 8," you can press all the way up to 36 if you like, or you can press it straight to 30. With the presses, what I usually recommend to people is try not to go to something too off the wall, something that the dealers don't see very often. For instance, let's say you've got a $24 each 6 and 8, and say the 6 hits, right? I have had players that will say something weird like, "Hey, how much do you need to take them both to 42?" Well, let me calculate that out real quick because that is such an oddball bet. I never see it. So I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to very, very quickly do that math. A little bit easier would be, you know what, take them both to 36. 36 is pretty simple because we know we're going up 12 apiece, so I need 24 bucks. So all I'd have to do is just do that, and I could go ahead and set up your bet. But even that is not a super common press progression. From here, a lot of times we're just going to end up going up to 30 a piece or 30 just for one of them, and then go from there and continue to press on as we press. But yeah, I definitely encourage people to remember that the speed of the game is paramount. You want to keep the game flowing, so try and avoid anything too unusual. That's a problem that we oftentimes see with these strategies that people have worked out with a pen and a piece of paper sitting at home, or thinking on their drive to work every day, and come up with this strategy of I'm gonna hedge this here, and I'm gonna have these bets here, plus I'm gonna have this bet here to hedge that one, and I'm gonna have this bet here to hedge that one. So I need X amount of money on this hedge, X amount of money on this, and if this hits, I'm gonna throw in this much money and press it up to here and dual press over to here. And it just turns into this complex mess. So every roll of the dice, one player is taking up about 15 to 20 seconds of our time or more, trying to figure out exactly what they're doing and build their bets and bring them back up on their other stuff that they're betting and their hedges and this and that and their hoppers and all this, versus the players that are doing, say, mid-press method, power press method, iron cross variations, that are doing more standard presses and more normalized presses, not trying to get too creative with it. We can usually pump them out in a couple of seconds. Someone doing a power press or a mid-press method, I can literally spend about a second and a half doing their payout, their press, and getting them their change and moving on, because it's so common. I do it so much that I don't even think about it. It's just muscle memory is going. And that keeps the game flowing. Most players really want the game to continue flowing. You've got that rare person that's got this weird, the system that they came up with, and they don't care if they slow the game down to a grind. But every other player certainly does care. So, try and keep your bets as I won't say easy, but as logical as possible. Make it flow. Make everything flow smoothly. Now, if you do have a system that you want to use, then I encourage you to stick with it all the time. Because if you have something oddball that takes us a second to figure out, that's no big deal. It's what we have. It's what we do. It's part of our job. But if you stick with it every single time, we can start to really flow it. If you stick with the same press, the same dual press, the same, hey, take this here, take this here, take this here kind of thing, after the first or second time, we'll memorize it. And we definitely will think about it after the first time and figure out how we could have done it smoother and quicker. Then after that, we'll be able to just start flowing it so the game can continue to flow. Remember, flow of the game is very, very important, and have fun. You can't have fun if the game isn't flowing. You want to have fun. This is, again, a game. It's called a game for a reason. Have a good time with it. So I hope you guys find this informative. It was a fan request. And we will catch you guys next time. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'm Jason. Thanks. Bye.